Begin this Thursday afternoon with funeral services wrapping up in the Northern Valley for a woman beaten to death allegedly by her ex-husband. Family and friends gathered in Grand Forks to pay their last respects to 31-year-old Karissa Odegaard. Valley News Team's Aaron Walling is in Grand Forks right now and joins us with details on the service. Aaron?
Hi, Mike. Now, the funeral services were held in the church behind me just over there in Hope Church here in Grand Forks, and there was a lot of emotions that were spilled out. They didn't allow media into the building, but I sat in the back and I just heard, crying and tears, obviously, as, they try to wrap their heads around of what has happened. Now, family and friends in the community, they're just trying to grasp the reality, of the death of Karissa Odegaard. Now, during the funeral service, they spoke about Karissa's life and what she had meant to the community and meant to all of them. And her family also sang a song in her memory, it was one of her favorite songs. Now, Karissa leaves behind her three beloved children, Owen, Levi, Ezekiel, Nora, and Oscar. And sadness and sorrow could be felt in the air, as they say one last goodbye to the 31-year-old. They carried the casket out, and you could just feel the somber, atmosphere around everyone. Now, Karissa's aunt, Paula, she also said it best, in the program there was a poem she had written, and it said, "Precious Karissa, far above average mother, made her own elderberry syrup, could crochet any pattern out there, fed her crew of 5, all the food groups, spiritual food groups too. Love protected, cherished, selflessly loved until death parted her from us. Our hearts are broken. A sad and tragic time for everyone here in Grand Forks, for the family, the friends, and the community." Reporting live in Grand Forks, Aaron Walling, Valley News Live.
All right, thanks so much, Aaron. Authorities say that Karissa was killed by her ex-husband, Anders Odegaard, at this home in Warren, Minnesota last week. Investigators say the couple's young children witnessed the attack. Anders is expected back in court in a couple of months on second-degree murder charge. We are awaiting an update from police after a SWAT team was called in this morning to assist on a high-risk arrest warrant. Fargo police say that they surrounded an apartment building at Amber Valley Parkway and used a flashbang to distract people and get inside. No word who the people are or the specific charges. New at 4, the Minnesota Nurses Association says thousands of nurses in the Twin Cities and Duluth area intend to walk off the job. In mid-August, the union voted overwhelmingly to authorize a strike after more than 5 months of negotiations with hospital representatives over wage increases and paid time off. The strike is tentatively scheduled to begin at 7 o'clock on Monday. That's September 12th. It will impact 16 hospitals under 7 hospital systems. The union called the strike the largest private sector nurses strike in U.S. history. I know Hutch Johnson has plans to take in cruise night on this Thursday. Before he takes that off, what do you have for us in the weather, Hutch?
Mike, I got to tell you, it looks like a great night as we head into the evening. It is hot out there, that's for sure, but certainly first day of meteorological fall out there. Trees not turning yet as we look out over Moorhead and toward the Moorhead Center Mall, where the final cruise night of the season for Moorhead will take place. Temperatures are very hot, but we do have changes that will begin tonight. Here is a look at the satellite and the radar, and we see crossing over the Montana border into the Williston area, a few clouds out there. Nothing organized as far as showers go. These are out ahead of a cold front. Now look at all the 90s out there. Glendive, Montana, 95. Dickinson, 95 degrees, and we're well into the 90s up in Grand Forks and Devil's Lake as well. Notice the green colors behind that area in parts of Manitoba, and it is much, much cooler air heading our way as we close out the work week, heading into the start of your 3-day weekend. But for tonight, cruise night, 6 o'clock. Not far from 90 degrees here in Fargo. We will quickly see things cool off once we see the sunset on our day into the 70s. Grand Forks, temperatures there near 90, sneaking down into the 70s later tonight. There will be a chance for some thunderstorms as that cold front passes through. Mike, I'll detail all of that in a couple of moments.
Look forward to it. Thanks, Hutch. Many Circle K gas stations across the country are cutting fuel prices for drivers during a special 3-hour event that just started. A 40-cent discount is being offered from now until 7 p.m. at participating locations. More than 3,600 locations are offering this promotion, including some local holiday gas stations. The price on the pump will reflect the discounted price, and there's no limit on the number of gallons that a person can purchase. Any customer in line for gas before 7 p.m. will receive the 40 cents off discount. Federal drug officials are warning about rainbow fentanyl, a new trend that is emerging across the United States. Reporter Trinity Chavez tells us how this dangerous drug is now made to look like candy to attract children and young people.
Trend, releasing these images of colorful fentanyl, also being called rainbow fentanyl. The pills in powder come in bright colors, shapes, and sizes. Fred Munch is with the Partnership to End Addiction.
The game has changed in terms of pills in powder now because they are laced with fentanyl. And getting the word out is so important because the users are unsuspecting. They don't know that they're taking a pill with fentanyl in it.
Federal drug officials say the so-called rainbow fentanyl appears to be a new method from the drug cartels to appeal to young people. This month alone, law enforcement has seized rainbow fentanyl in 18 states. Statistics show fentanyl is the deadliest drug threat facing the United States. More than 107,000 Americans died of drug overdoses in 2021. 66% of those deaths were related to synthetic opioids like fentanyl.
Unfortunately, it's getting worse. We're seeing more and more fentanyl coming in. Traditional opioids are falling off the radar of them because it's so much cheaper to use fentanyl.
Knowing the dangers of using counterfeit prescription pills.
Last year, the DEA launched an awareness campaign educating Americans about how just one pill can kill. Trinity Chavez, CBS News, New York.
Drug poisonings are the leading killer of Americans between the ages of 18 and 45. Former President Donald Trump's attorneys for the U.S. Justice Department met in court today. A federal judge hearing arguments on a request for a neutral attorney to review materials seized from Mar-a-Lago. She did not issue an immediate ruling. Former president's legal team joined the DOJ's own review of the documents for attorney-client privilege and deficiencies and called the FBI's August 8th search unprecedented, unnecessary, and legally unsupported.
I really hope that we can get the special master put in place so that we can have some impartial mediators to look at everything and get the documents that are supposed to be with the president back.
Meanwhile, the U.S. Justice Department has fiercely pushed against the appointment of a special master. They say it could significantly harm national security interests. The Biden administration hopes to make getting a COVID-19 booster as routine as going in for your yearly flu shot. That's at the heart of its campaign to sell the newly authorized shot to an American public that has widely rejected COVID-19 boosters since they first became available last fall. Shots of the updated boosters, specifically designed by Pfizer and Moderna to respond to the Omicron strain, could start within days. The U.S. government has purchased 170 million doses and is emphasizing that everyone will have free access to the booster. The National Institute of Health is reviewing Ivermectin as a treatment for COVID in clinical trials. The antiparasitic drug is currently approved by the FDA to treat several diseases, but it is not yet approved for the treatment of viral infections like COVID. The NIH says that they've been evaluating ivermectin and so far have not found any clinical benefit in COVID-19 cases. Politicians are once again flocking to the Minnesota State Fair. The November 8th election, 68 days away. So politicians are taking advantage of being able to greet people from all over the state. And why wouldn't you campaign at the fair? The whole state is there. Reporter Esme Murphy tells us how it went.
Nice to meet you. Where are you from?
Dr. Scott Jensen has a fraction of Governor Tim Walz's $4.6 million war chest. The fair offers a low-cost, maximum return for him, and he's been here every day. Dr. Jensen unexpectedly gave a shout-out to his opponent, Governor Tim Walz, when we asked about the fair.
Well, I think Tim Walz said it best last week. I think when he was here, he said something about, he said there's a sense of fellowship. I think there is.
Good to see you.
Governor Walz has also been a regular visitor, speaking here at Military Appreciation Day.
This is when a community rallies around their troops, and it's the strength that we have together that makes this country the best.
The fair is also a great opportunity for fair goers to meet the candidates and ask them questions, even pick up some merchandise, even register to vote. The DFL booth sits on a busy corner, giving people the opportunity to meet and question candidates.
I think there's a certain sense that you can get of how real they are, as opposed to just literature and little blurbs in your email.
The GOP booth features one of the fair's only backyard garden seating areas. As candidates come by, so do the people.
I like to see the candidates out meeting the public and answering your questions and, understand what the people want.
Politics at the fair is also a chance to have a little fun before the traditional kickoff of campaign season, which traditionally starts the day after Labor Day. Although these days, campaign season seems to be year-round.